4.3 has changed everything, nerfing all numbers and dramatically slowing down the pace of the game. Does this mean tech rushing is dead? Well, as the self-proclaimed tech rusher YouTuber, I wanted to try this out with the most played empire, the UNE. Can a normal basic empire still tech rush, or will I get severely punished? Let's find out. So we will be using the United Nations of Earth, the standard and the most played empire in Stellaris statistically for all you guys. It's a great baseline empire to see new changes like what is happening in 4.3. Now do note, this is recorded on the beta that came out on the 4th of March. If there are things different, I'll try and pin in the comment what's different on release. I wanted to get you something as soon as possible. That's what we'll be doing. We'll be playing on my standard settings so we can get a good baseline to what we normally are used to. Grand Admiral, small, 12 empires. We'll then have mid-game scaling at year 50. This means that the empires will start at the default difficulty but ramp up to Grand Admiral by year 50. It's so you don't get stomped straight away if you have a bad spawn.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
I'll be playing with standard growth settings, but 0.75 tech and tradition cost. I never play at 1x, so this will feel more like a video. It would be stupid to go up to 1x and say it's slower tech-wise. Everything else we are leaving default, 2 marauders, and the rest default. Now, what are the main changes to 4.3? Numbers have been gutted across the board. Insane numbers are going to be no more for basic, advanced, and tech unity. Literally everything has been gutted. Exponential scaling has been killed off. Lots and lots of modifiers reduced or removed. And that's just the economy. Ships have also been changed. You can see we have 3 corvettes here, a nice little 3 of them, and they're taking 15 command limit as well as 15 naval capacity. And that's because ships have had their price and cost increased. Corvettes are the least increased, but bigger ships are going to be much more expensive and use much more naval capacity. This is all in an effort to help the game out because obviously these massive numbers and massive fleets were lagging the game a lot. Another thing they've done is reduce tech, the base number that you get anyway, by half, but they've also halved the cost of technologies. This is a indirect buff to deposits, like Luna here giving us free engineering research. That used to be nothing. Now it's matching what our tech's output. So these deposits are much stronger, and all in all, space deposits might be the new meta. Let's see. We're still going to go the field dynamic center, but you can see it produces 0.25 per 100 rather than +1 that we had before. You get 200 jobs though, so that's still really nice. You'll also notice that technologies give other bonuses like deflectors giving army health. Deflectors also will give shield hardening as well as armor, so bypass meta is also dead. Ships, completely different now. We're going to go for all the labs if we have them. We do. We're tech rushing with the UNE. And the reason we're doing it with UNE is because obviously I could find a really broken combination of civics and origin and probably get mass tech numbers. Those builds will come to you soon, but I just wanted a baseline. Can you still tech rush if you're not fully optimizing like you could before? I've done UNE before. I've gotten to 100,000 tech a month in the late game. It took 200 years, but it's still possible. Prosperous unification does start us off with more pops, meaning we have a lot of civilians. So what I'm going to do is come up to species, set our species rights, change over living standard to utopian abundance. This is going to mean our civilians produce us unity and research points. This might get nerfed, but it's one of the quickest way to get your tech up early game. You can see before we do anything, they're just producing trade and amenities. When we activate it and play it, we're going to produce a lot more. It is going to cost us more consumer goods though. Utopian is 1 across the board, whereas decent conditions is 0.51, 0.25. To mitigate that, we're going to come over to government, policies and edicts. We're of course going to go isolationist for the 10% unity. I still think you want to unity rush, but unity rushing is a lot slower. They've nerfed that across the board too, as well as the speed that you can ascend. We're then going to go to civilian economy to get as many consumer goods as we possibly can, and then we're going to hope we don't go massively negative. We can also get rid of the enforcers and entertainers, so they're not taking up consumer goods, and they'll become nice little civilians. Want to play chill multiplayer games, but you struggle to find people to play with? Well, join my Discord server. We have a bot and roll set up, as well as a strong PvE community to make finding games easy, as well as getting access to play my monthly community games, and of course, the Stellaris buy and sell sheet pinned in the Stellaris channel. Thank you. We can even disable the Hall of Theatre to save on the 2 energy. Yes, we are min-maxing that much. We're then going to buy as many minerals as we possibly can, and we might have to buy some consumer goods. We will see. Science ship, let's go grab this continental world, and then this one. And corvettes, we're still going to split up to explore. Even though they're a little bit more expensive, I still think information is key. And planet's going to be a lot more important for different reasons, It's where we're going to get a lot of our strategic resources from through basic districts. We're then going to change our starbase to hydro base. A lot of this is similar, but it's just going to be a lot slower. For some reason, the Embrace the Bonds of New Life gives us 0 tech. I guess we won't do that. And we got a first contact. Now the speed though is insane. I cannot play on fastest. There's been a lot of optimizations. The game's quick, okay? We're gonna have to sell some energy though, so we can buy some consumer goods. We are struggling, and we'll probably sell some food just to help the trade out. It's still negative 22, but my friends, we're producing 36 science from our civilians. That's basically doubled us. It's also producing 14 unity, which is a very nice amount, and that will get us going in these techs a lot quicker. These were like 100 months, now it's 57. We can even clear sprawling slums. We may as well. 100 pops are created for more civilians, because civilians are nice boost to tech early on. We're then going to build minerals so we don't have to buy as many, and we're still going to have to sell some food and probably some more energy, because I would like to go a bit more positive on consumer goods so we can get some colony ships going. But not bad, 74 tech at the start of the game. New traditions. I'm not entirely sure what is better. This is my second game on 4.3, so there's probably going to be some more optimizations needed. However, commerce, rest in peace mercantile, has been nerfed. It no longer gives trade to civilians. It does give trade to living standards, which is pretty hidden. If you come over to the population, look at their production, and then you can see civilian living standards, they're giving 11. I believe Utopian Abundance gives our pops more trade income, so it's actually quite nice, synergistic. But all of our pops are actually producing some trade from the living standard. I think specialists produce more and then workers produce more. Not really something we've had to pay attention before. I think they're all producing the same. There's just more of different ones. But apart from that, mercantile still lets us change trade into consumer goods and unity, which is incredibly powerful. It also does just buff up trade, which is very nice. So we're going to still go down commerce. I'm sorry. But I'm going to build on our research station. We may as well get 2 extra engineering tech. That's pretty nice. Now we can sell a bit more food. You can see trade is tanking, trying to get consumer goods going. After this mining district, we might build a city district, which will build more consumer goods. We could even build a civilian industry. That could be the play. Okay, I'm actually going to get the trade from living standards to start because we have no trade. We'll see how much this goes up. It's not going to be as much as it used to be. It was by 2. Numbers have been nerfed, my friends. I think we absolutely need another civilian industry because we need colonies up and running. Okay, now let's get adaptive economic policies, and then we're immediately going to convert our trade into unity. We could do consumer goods to fix that, but I'm greedy. I want to get as much unity as possible. It's going to tank our energy a bit, but we do go from 40 to 50 unity, which is pretty nice. Our energy's died a bit, but we can just stop selling as many. We can get our pop happiness, and then we are probably just going to get monthly unity, and we'll build a city district afterwards. Our consumer goods should have increased there, as well as reducing trade deficits. Yeah, 24 now. That's nice. We only needed 1 really to get back in those positives. And now we can colonize this planet. There is already an aggressive empire over here. That's great. And we do want to get some alloys going. Starbases are going to be very important still to give us a boost to early game economy, and we need 200 alloys per starbase. So we will just start ramping up a little bit of alloy production. I know we are reducing the amount we make, but we can just buy some. So you're going to notice a lot more planets with features for rare resources. Crystalline caverns is the one that gives crystals from minerals. This is going to dictate what your planets are, because getting rare resources from your industry is going to suck. They've nerfed it to the ground, so this will probably dictate this being minerals, because it gives it, yes, we even have hazardous weather giving us more energy, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna need crystals, and we're gonna not have as many planets as needed, because empire size from planets has also been increased, meaning you don't want 1 billion trillion planets anymore. You know what's so funny? Those 2 engineering deposits here, the 5 engineering, because made this finish 10 months earlier than the rest. That's how important space deposits can be. Shame we roll into absolutely awful techs, but it's fine. For tech rushing anyway. We'll immediately get the materials workshop after the city district. It's still worth it. They're still worth it. On the starbase, we're of course going to build the trade hubs. Trade means we also produce unity, and trade on these stations have been buffed for some reason when we get off-worlder companies and hyper relay links. It's going to buff our trade income. So yeah, we'll do that. First though, we will build a colony ship ready for here, as it's more important to get our planets online. Yeah, we don't really need to buy consumer goods anymore, so we can full send buying alloys. The reason I'm sticking to some of these numbers is that 42 for minerals and 10 for alloys is the max before inflation kicks in, meaning this is the most efficient cost. You'll see the trade will tick back down to its base value, and then when we buy it goes back up to 4.83. It'll go back down perfectly to 4.80. You can get these numbers on my Discord, link in the description. Also, the amount of jobs everything gives seems to be different unless I'm going crazy. Like, this surely wasn't 60 of each before. We're going to grab the Unity from that event. Oh, we can finally finish commerce, which, as well as the consumer goods or Unity from trade, we also get trade from jobs, less market fee, which applies to our buying here, which we're doing a lot of, and we'll get a flat 10% monthly trade, which also applies to the Unity and stuff. You can see it's just still good, even though they nerfed it. Then we're of course just going to grab monthly Unity. I don't think there's much better right now. Getting through traditions is quite important. Sped it up by 3 months there, and this is only going to get better once we start getting trade hubs going. You can see our research isn't actually changing because we're building more jobs. That means we're losing civilians, which is hilarious. It should hopefully ramp up once we get these research buildings, which we have now unlocked, all of them, and we're tech rushing. We're going to grab anything that gives us research, anything that gives us Unity. And yes, these numbers have been changed, 2.5 monthly instead. I think this was always 5, but it was nerfed from before. And then on the building slot, we will build the Hydro Bay, which means we won't have to work as many food jobs, or we just sell the food. The trade you get from selling doesn't apply to consumer goods or Unity, by the way, in the trade policy, but we still want to keep a positive surplus. We have found moats. That's very nice. Really, I should have also activated Fortify the Border, which gives us more Starbase upgrade speed, get them online quicker. And this has Bubbling Swamp, which, because it's in gold, I believe gives us gases from food. So this might just be a food planet for that. We got moats. So we got crystals on that planet, gases on this planet, and then moats from the space station there. But maybe something here. We'll see. So crystalline caverns as well, and Crystal Reef, which I think Crystal Reef gives crystals from food. I'm not entirely sure. I've never actually paid attention to those until this update. But they're a lot more common now. Is why you'll see them on a lot of planets. So we've ramped up our engineering ever so slightly. We're getting 10 more or 11 more than the others by having a materials workshop. Next, I think prosperity is still just very good. It reduces planetary infrastructure cost, increases the speed, reduces upkeep, more resources, less upkeep. It's just good. Also, side note, aptitude has changed. We can get specialist output per governor skill level, 2%. That's quite good if you have high skilled governors. This has changed since I played last, which is why I was stun locked. This used to give just flat 5, but now it's per planetary governor skill. So you can see things change even quickly in the beta. We have our new planet. We are going to make this immediately minerals, and we do have enforcers on this planet. I have no idea why. Apparently the ship's shelter now gives enforcers? I mean, I don't really want enforcers. They're pretty useless. That means they're going to take time to demote, which is actually really annoying. Okay, they instantly go to colonists, cool. And another big change, there is no more specialization district for the normal resources. I'm not the biggest fan of this change. I really liked making a world committed to one resource. You didn't have to do it, but now we don't even have the choice. So for me, that is a bit annoying. Like, we don't even get the choice to do it now. They just removed it. So I don't really know what you put here. For now, we're not going to put anything. Maybe it'll become more tech once our consumer goods and stuff are done. Or this will be industry plus minerals, like back in the 3.x days where we made kind of semi-general worlds. I am sad. We found a ruthless capitalist, Seller Cartel. They are a criminal megacorp, so that, yeah, that could be bad. Let's not do an embassy. And make sure you don't go to 30 crime. That's when crime events will happen, so we will employ our enforcers again. This does mean our civilians are slowly trickling away. We're only getting 9 tech from them and 5 unity. But that's great, because that means by the time we can switch our living standards back, it takes 10 years. We're not going to have civilians, so we can just go back down and save on consumer goods. Oh, we just engaged retreat. I got out. So you want your pops to be quite efficient, and working amenity jobs kind of sucks. So we're going to get luxury resident just to give us some amenities so we can just full send working minerals here. What's interesting is they are producing some sort of tech. So I guess the living standard, yeah, the living standard also produces a little bit of tech. We're getting like 3 from each. I don't think it's going to be worth keeping it when we have no civilians though. Yeah, I'm fairly sure this is exotic gases from agricultural because it's max agricultural districts. So this will just be our food because of that. And I'm pretty happy with this as a base. We'll probably expand to the choke points here and here just outside of our planets. And we're going to hunker down, not get our empire size too high because it's already at 121, giving us 4% more tech costs and tradition. We want to play semi-tall. And what we're going to do now, this is becoming more and more a tech world. So we're going to assign a nice scientist here who also gets more unity, sure. Because per level, they give this means scientists more efficiency. One of the small ways we can actually increase our worker output now, because every other way has been gutted to the ground. We're then going to assign our governors to these planets as they give us basic resources in advance, because otherwise the scientists' effects propagate down to these planets, which we don't want to happen. Yeah, and this is a blood forest, and they're building there. Okay, we should spy on them. We'll try and hunker down. Starbases are actually quite strong now because there's less ships. The systems on here have an easier time at actually wiping them out, which is pretty nice. And we found the creator order. We will absolutely chat to you to get aided in the research, giving us 5% more research speed. Research speed essentially applies a percentage bonus to the amount of tech we have. So 22%, we're getting 22% extra of the physics, which is a total of 27%, which is pretty nice. It seems like our tech's quite low, but it's actually not too bad. We're actually getting through techs at a normal-ish rate. Emphasis on the ish. We did get a branch office on our capital. Well, if you're already doing branch offices, we're going to make friends with you to protect us. Yeah, we don't need... We're doing non-aggression. We want a defensive pact with these guys, potentially even a federation later on. And honestly, doing a commercial pact with a megacorp is pretty nice because it nullifies the criminal aspect of them. So we'll even guarantee their independence. Hopefully they don't get declared war on. And we may as well improve. Tech crushing is just be friends and sit in a corner. Okay, we have no civilians left. Our tech production from pops is pretty much nothing, and it's been 10 years. So let's now come over to species and set their rights back down to decent conditions. Could do social welfare for a bit of happiness, but I don't care. We can save a lot of consumer goods by doing this. We're up to 45. That is nice. And what I'll probably do then, we could go back to mixed or go to alloys, but I like getting a big stockpile of consumer goods, to be honest. We're gonna grab robots as soon as possible to actually build some pops. And now, since our food's pretty good, we're gonna start, once we built this last city district, replacing the food districts into city to keep building up consumer goods here. These techs are the prerequisites to the energy grids, which will let you specialize them, so they're quite important to grab. New world with crystalline caves and reefs. I don't want more mineral worlds, but I guess they could be mineral plus consumer goods. I think we'll start building this into alloys. This one will be consumer goods, and then we can then get rid of mixed industry off of our capital to be full tech. So rather than specializing into one thing, you kind of make minerals plus something else, which is, I like specialization. Oh, we've now also got factions, which is going to greatly help our unity. We're up to 104. Let's promote these two, which are much better than xenophobe militarists. They want benevolent subjugation, so we'll accept that. They're 100% approval. These are 99. Go into here, give us lots and lots of unity. 40% unity just in time for the faction. And let's get specialist output, which will buff our tech a little bit. I would love to see triple digits, please. 5% resources from here too, and a commercial pact from the Stellar Cartel. Yep, give us that defensive pact. Research agreement honestly can be really good now because this is one way to get a high research speed. What it basically does is techs they have researched, we will get a 25% bonus to. So you can see here, they've done this naval capacity. We're getting an extra 25%, which is quite a lot. So actually making friends could be insane. We're not going to do migration treat because I don't want to lose my pops. I don't really enjoy migration. It can be a bit annoying. It's Stellaris. It's Stellaris. We are negative influence, but it doesn't matter. They're trying to construct in the system. Joke's on you. There's global energy management, and we usually love this because of at least the edict. They've changed it. The upkeep for these edicts are now trade. They do give us 20% output, but they don't fund themselves, which is really sad. Still good though, because we can obviously specialize and get the energy grid, which gives us 0.5 more, but it's, yeah, sad. We now have robots. We need to spam robot buildings right now. Getting 2 extra pops a month will be insane. It's quite expensive, 540 minerals, but we'll make it work. I'm so committed to the cause, we're going to stop buying monthly for a bit, buy a bulk of minerals, so we can just get those as soon as possible, even sell some consumer goods. I'm going to start suppressing these factions that we don't really want. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, because that will probably produce us some unity, yeah. This small one will suppress. Robots are online. We're almost at triple digits on science. Prosperity is done. I think we want to go... We could honestly get more star bases, but I only have one we don't have. So I think just tech ascendancy is great. It's just going to give us 10% research speed, which again adds up. I think something strong we could do here is actually half consumer good workers, because I am lacking minerals. I do not need a surplus of consumer goods. And really, we need these pops to go migrate to these other planets. And we finally hit triple digits 17 years in. However, we have researched quite a few techs because remember the tech cost has been halved. We will grab this tech. It's actually going to be very nice because our miners can produce those crystals. And you can see here, rare crystal extraction, which will reduce the amount of minerals we get, but increase crystals by a lot. We might not do it though because I need minerals. To be fair, we could do it on that smaller world. Next, we're going to probably just go discovery. Reducing our upkeep for research is going to be very strong so that we can just convert fully into tech, which I really want to do, but it would kill our economy big time. I honestly think I should have maybe made a second science ship to do the anomalies and dig sites because the rewards from those could probably boost you up in that early game a lot more. Something to think about. 20 years in, this is how our resources are looking. Our Unity is very strong. The tech is not great. I'm trying to gear up for the switch, but it's difficult. And we just lost our Origins bonus, which was getting 10% resource from jobs, happiness and amenities, so we're going to have to enable the Hollow Theatre. Otherwise, it's not going to look great on our capital. There we go. This is tough. Gas is going to give us access to better tech buildings. Destroyers, yeah, they're okay. Starholds, using our alloys to upgrade, be more of a defense and more trade. Oh, I think I'll move to the safe plate and go Starholds so we can upgrade and not get murdered by the swarm. I don't know how we got crime on this planet. I guess the corporate geezer has done their bidding. We're very close to reducing the research. We're also building up this world into consumer goods now, which by the way no longer reduces upkeep. All upkeep reductions have pretty much been reduced because they were absurd, because you would scale your planets up and pay basically no upkeep. There's a few, like the one we're aiming for. Essentially, you can't ascend your planet to have an insane reduction. And it does mean tech worlds now give efficiency, which is quite nice. Okay, I think it's time. Research Enclave. This could be a massive mistake, but we've got a surplus. I need more tech. It's stagnated. Okay, we can build more star bases. Go! So we're going to go from 112 to 166 tech. And to be fair, our consumer goods didn't completely collapse. Okay, that's pretty nice. Let's plow our mineral districts into sea districts. We'll keep one of each so we can still specialize and utilize those building slots. I'm going to be greedy and build trade still on the border. Oh, now we're minus 45. Need more consumer goods, please. Minus 31. I think it will be fine because we'll reduce the upkeep too. Oh, the upgrade. So this is why we want the resources, because these upgrades will give us a little bit more per 100 pops. We will grow for it. And where were we getting our moats from? I think we had to get it from here, which is not a lot, only one. But we can finally reduce that research upkeep, and that should bring our minus 32 back down a bit more. Minus 25. We can keep building state districts. Go to a factory world too. Yeah, the edicts are not that great because they all cost trade. Oof, arc finish is so good. We can shift mineral production to the stars and alloys. I like that over the tech even. And we can now upgrade our star bases. We will just send them all. The building slots will be more than welcome, and our consumer goods are now positive. We'll get a rare crystal extraction going on here so we can get a little bit of crystal production. We've got moats. Spam trade. We did not get any trade buffing buildings, which is a bit annoying, so we will wait with those. Back to the Bergenstein. Hello, we are friends, not foe. Do not attack us, please. You can also build crystal mines, which buff up the production of crystal miners. I think you can build it even if you don't have the crystal fracking stuff. Okay, see how you can see these buildings, they only produce us a 0.1. That's just insanely bad per 100. So 1,000 would get you 1. Bear in mind, per 100 physicists, we have a 0.25 upkeep. It's crazy. We are going to upgrade it though, because I think we can use trade to mitigate that loss, and I really want to get our tech up. We're almost approaching year 30, so we don't even have 200 tech, although our techs are coming along. We did just get arc finish, although I do not have the alloys to actually build one yet. We're close. I think I'm also going to switch the archives to a research enclave in a minute. Now this could be one hell of a start.
That's quite big.
To put a Dyson Swarm onto for that tech output. Discovery's finally finished, giving us 10% research speed. Ascension perk, we obviously want to ascend. Now, I don't actually know which one is worthwhile anymore. We'll just go Biomorphosis for now, because that is what I played with before when I played Uni. I've changed a lot of these around. I think we'll go Purity just for the job efficiency, as that's usually pretty nice. We don't really need like loads and loads of pops since we have 4 planets. Purity. We then need to spam genomic research facilities, which is going to buff up our tech. I think, unless they've changed it, it should give us society stuff, but maybe it doesn't anymore. Maybe I'm going crazy. Substance abuse and minus 20%. Criminal megacorp is going to make me lose my mind. I really am going to need to get rid of the crime on this planet. Faculty of Arcos studies will give us a bit more society output. We will take that. Also grab their creator scientists, and we can build our first arc furnace, which is going to cripple our energy, but it's fine, maybe. Yeah, so you can still build the crystal mine, which will give you 0.15 per 100, which can help. Oh, our energy just completely tanked. The arc furnace finished. That would be why. We're going to save our unity biomorphosis. A federation actually would be insane right now. We can make a commercial federation with the people who are actively killing us. If there's minus 33 acceptance though. It would give us consumer goods and unity and energy. Energy is a bit ropey right now. Well, to be honest, everything is. But if we actually put capacity subsidies on, will it destroy a trade? Maybe. Did I really just get galactic parasites? No. It's literally on the worst possible starbase. The only one I didn't upgrade and my only shipyard. You gotta be kidding me. I just fixed my economy. Oh, tech rushing can sometimes be dangerous. But 201 tech, and we're getting 20% less resources. So who is the real winner? I'm gonna need to build a shipyard. I'm just gonna bomb Earth, and that's what my... No! Wait, I can still build corvettes on this system. What? I need to min-max. I have no military weapons. The lasers will do good because they have no shields. We'll go with shields since we have tier 2. We'll go with purity again. Oh no, we're going next. We've restored order, but we're getting eaten. Game. My friend, I require alloys. He does not want a federation, which is incredibly annoying. And now they're spreading. Oh, no. No, they engaged. I did not want to engage. Okay, they're leaving at least. This is why you don't always fully tech rush. Come on, Starbase. Come on. Hold. I believe in you. I don't think they're going to kill the hull. They're not dying. Yeah, their hull... They must have like hull regen. Okay, they're not going for my other planets. They're going elsewhere, at least. That is the issue of the tech rush, my friends. It can get you killed. So we're 40 years in. We're actually on less tech than before. Biomorphosis only at stage 1. They have absolutely slowed down how quickly you can go. Yay, 211. We're at war. Yeah, I mean, I can't get to you. Enjoy Stellar Cartel, I guess. The upgrades don't actually increase the cost. It just gives you 10% more efficiency for engineers. So I think that's very much worth it. We're finally at the third stage of biomorphosis. Our economy is burning. We're at 50 years. I finished the Ascension. We've had disruptors, which no longer do 100% penetration. Big rip, and we've got like a couple thousand tech, and it's game over. This is much tighter. We could get attacked at any point and die, to be honest. My economy has been in shambles the entire time because I'm trying to min-max tech. Maybe it's just the point at which I accelerate away from the AIs is going to take longer. We'll see. But at the minute, it's been tough. Now getting crime and stuff on this planet instead. We're almost up to 300 tech. Yeah, we probably want another tech world, but I don't have the economy to do that. I really need Dyson swarms, to be honest. Stellar Cartel wants a federation. We're not doing Galactic Union. Absolutely not. Trade League. Yes. Give me the trade league, which means 50% of our trade goes into energy, unity, and consumer goods. So hopefully, why does all of this suck? Why didn't our energy go up? I guess we're not actually producing that much trade anymore. It actually felt worse for us, I can't lie. The issue I'm having is a lot of my pops are just spread across all ethics, which I can't appease them all. Dyson Swarm, oh my gosh. Wide Wind Plague? I'm absolutely nowhere near ready for that. Mid-game year 50. It might be too soon on this. Of course, my settings, which I record on, are going to need to be tweaked, but I have 330 fleet strength and nowhere near the economy, science, or anything. Maybe I should have spent some unity. I'm saving to finish biomorphosis when it eventually damn well finishes. Can get a fifth civic. I think it needs to be masterful crafters because we've got a lot of consumer goods going on, and they'll produce us trade and consumer goods, and that will fix a large portion of my economy, as well as reducing our amenity usage with that council position. 47k. I am not ready for 47k, my friends. I finally got gases tech. I don't even have biomorphosis. I am on 300 tech. Please. I really need the capturing tech to tier 2. We'll just keep rolling for it. Here they go. They're just gonna kill everything. No! I guess we gotta purge the infected so that we no longer spawn new void worms when they start bombing our planets. We finally got automation too, which still does automate workforce. It's a bit expensive, but it's worthwhile putting on your energy stuff. Like, we're finally ramping up. I feel like we didn't get great techs. Maybe that's copium. Yeah, they are immediately gonna just start bombing this planet into absolute oblivion. The tech rush didn't work. And they're sending more at me. Oh joy. Oh my gosh, gravity snares. This could be the saving grace. We're just gonna need more science ships. Well, that planet's dead. No. Oh, we have moat shortage now. We're gonna have to disable. Oh, that's not moats. This one. That was a big contributor to our energy, the planet we lost. Gravity snares, the final play. They cost alloys and energy. We're negative alloys. We finally got purity though. Yay! Embrace purity. We should have been spending unity. Saving is now pretty bad. We probably shouldn't have done that. Let's get aptitude for the efficiency. I mean, we only got 2 extra picks. Damage to void webs? Maybe. Sure. Don't think it's gonna matter though. Go gravity snare. It failed. I don't have resources. So we are up to 374 tech, which is getting through techs a lot. The issue is we are dead. I do not have the alloys or energy because they literally blew up my alloys and energy world. Everything has gone into tech, and most of the tech is coming from genomic researchers now. Yeah, they produce a bit of tech. So can you tech rush? You can. Is it good? Not if you die. And it's much harder to accelerate past the AI and mid-game crisis. Obviously, year 100 is the default, but also I sped up. But based on my normal settings, this would not have happened. Yeah, we might have got a few void worms, but by this stage, I would be able to field a mass fleet because I would have been able to get a big alloy world going while still being able to tech. But because of all the nerfs, you will get punished for pure tech rushing, and it's much easier to punish. Maybe this void worm plague gets toned down in the release or future patches, because getting that year 50, I'm dead. But again, I did move the mid game. If you enjoyed this video, check out the video breaking down every single change in 4.3. Goodbye.